The hydrogen, that is the most of a common element available in the universe, the most of the abundant material available, that is in a singularity. It is not created, not destroyed kind of a thing. And hydrogen is a very vital region for the life and the evolution on Earth. So whether you take the water element or it is the plant sources, so from any of there you take the hydrogen, and hydrogen is also responsible for the outer universe and the inner universe, both, whether it is within you or outside of you, both of where the hydrogen is. And if you believe in the Big Bang theory, so the massively compressed black hole, that concept is where there the implosion has happened and the hydrogen atom has exploded all over the universe. And that's where that led to the life where the suitable conditions were. So the main use cases for the hydrogen for the energy, so that is the power generation and the grid balancing. That's what with the help of the hydrogen we can do. That is the centralized power we can develop. So the source will be there where the power would be generated, and later on we can, with the help of the carriers, we can take it. It would be the fuel for the industry also. So lots of around 18% of the general data that we have, that around 18% of the energy or pollution that is there towards the automobiles or the home uses purposes, but rest of the uses are there towards the industry side only. The third of the uses that could be towards the feedstock, where the industry can use the ammonia, methanol for the steel cutting. So there is the policies that is coming up in the European Union, where in next 5 years they are going to take only the green steel. So means the steel which has been produced using the green hydrogen will be used. So such kind of regulations, those are coming up, and definitely it will play a very vital role in near future. The transportation is again a very important use case, where we can, for the fleet operations and for the heavy duty vehicles, or for the payload vehicles, or for forklift applications, all of there, we can use the hydrogen, where we will be saving the cost also and the weight, because if it is the batteries we are talking about, so the weight is a very big challenge, always it remains, and that reduces the mileage of the vehicle also. Again, it is the charging time is again a very big thing, where which the hydrogen can mitigate. And for the backup of applications for our residential and commercial buildings, the hydrogen could be a good source. There will be lot more of an applications are, and the applications would be keep coming on for the other of uses also. So before I move ahead towards the green mobility side of the uses, I would introduce you to our another mentor, guest of honor, our source of inspiration, you call Dr. Ramarao. Padmashri he is and was awarded in 2015. And he was with DRDO. He had served in many of our top positions and led to the country at the top of the levels in the missile technologies, whether he has worked with on the BrahMos, the Akash. Thereafter, he was the distinguished scientist and chief controller at DRDO. He has also led the DRDL, the research, the biggest research lab of DRDO. And right now he is Pro Chancellor with SVYASA, as he foresees an interdependent linkage between our ancient knowledge and modern science. So he has the very of active interest on science and and the spirituality matters also. That's where he is leading. And we are introducing him to give you the idea on the applications of hydrogen as per his experiences in the aero and the missile or the satellite sites. So Ramarao sir, the stage is yours.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Amit. Good evening to everybody, all the listeners and viewers. And so we are now entered a big cycle from Big Bang. We talked about hydrogen. Now we are again getting into hydrogen. And what Dr. A.N. Pandeyji has told, the role of hydrogen spiritually, philosophically, scientifically is fantastic, unimaginable. And it is even mythology talks about hydrogen. I mean, it's surprising, and it's good that Pandeyji has brought in the concept of hydrogen, how it was known to our ancestors. That means our ancestors knew hydrogen as an atom of importance. Now we are relooking at it. In fact, I am myself working on hydrogen-based fusion energy, not the fusion that is taking place on the sun, which is a high temperature fusion where you require millions of degrees centigrade to allow hydrogen atoms to fuse. But there is a school of thought going on, and in the world, about 3-4 countries are working how to sort of use hydrogen for energy generation at a lower temperature, say 1000 degrees instead of millions of degrees. Then whole thing will be, some people call it cold fusion, because the fusion is 10 to the power of 7 degrees centigrade. Cold fusion is 1000 degrees. Some people call it solid state energy, because they say it is almost like a solid state devices can work. There is no big generators being used. Third, people say is a lattice induced fusion. That is, you take the lattice structure of the metals like nickel, palladium, and in the lattice structure, you somehow trick hydrogen atoms to enter into lattice structure. So hydrogen atoms, once they enter the lattice structure, they get fused at lower temperature, and you get either helium, or even you may get even tritium. So that means we want to get the energy by combining hydrogen, so that it will be one of the energy sources, and it will be lower temperature, therefore definitely it will be cheaper. So this is what is going to happen. And meanwhile, hydrogen as a fuel for energy generation is picking up in a big way in the whole world. The reason is the fuel available, that is kerosene, gas, petrol, diesel, is dwindling very fast. And in fact, it is much beyond what they thought and then nobody thought in 2020 we still have fuel, but we are having fuel because new techniques of extracting fuel from the subterranean has been found out. But this won't continue because our terrain is limited, Earth is the same. So we have to find new method of finding energy source. And an infinite energy source, as brought out by Pandeyji and Amit, is hydrogen. Hydrogen is almost it can remain forever, and it will not be destroyed. It will be only changed from form A to form B to form C, and every time hydrogen remains. And every time you change, you extract energy by correctly understanding the science, the physics, the material science. And also maybe, as Pandeyji told, you may have used even philosophy. I don't know. He says you can produce hydrogen using spiritual knowledge. Fantastic, it can be done. It will be probably lowest cost hydrogen generation. But as well known today, hydrogen is being generated by taking water and using electrolyzer. There are 2-3 different types of electrolyzers available in the world, and each has its own limitations, its own strong points, and a cost structure. Each will have a different cost structure depending where you do, how you do, who will do. So this is still, in the whole world, it is still fluid. Probably in another 10 years, the world will stabilize on the method of generating hydrogen from water by one of the three methods or maybe more than one method, and also how it will be most cost-effective method of generating hydrogen. So this is one thing that will happen in 10 years, and we are part of it. India, as Amit brought out, has a hydrogen policy. India is going to work lot of research, R&D at different departments and ministries to say how to generate hydrogen at a low cost. This is one thing which will be funded by in a big way, and I think many young scientists will participate. Second is whether other than the scientists can some more people participate. This is an issue that Pandeyji has told. I also keep telling that go to ancient knowledge. How do you generate hydrogen? Use seawater, because today the electrolyzers require demineralized water. They are not happy with the brackish water or the seawater. They want demineralized water. So that consumes energy, adds cost. So can we do directly tap the water from the ocean and extract hydrogen using whatever method? Other one is, of course, various types of electrolyzers. Second one is you do improvise the electrolyzer so it can accept seawater. Or I have talked to one of the Ayurveda experts in the country. There are Ayurveda methods available to extract water, fresh water from seawater. Probably that will be cheaper than using demineralization of water for electrolyzer. So if that can be succeeded, then there will be lower cost water, demineralized, available for electrolyzer, cheaper. Therefore, the whole cost of generating hydrogen will come down drastically. So as you would have seen in the slide by Amit, the targeted price is $2 per meter cubed, kilogram of hydrogen. This is a targeted. And some people say it has to go down to as low as $1 per kg. If you want to make it commercially attractive, the cost of hydrogen using green technologies, not using non-green, like using gray technologies. Even you should not use solar also, because solar also is not very green. To extract solar energy, you have to put in a lot of energy to make the solar devices. So I want to say either wind, or you take where you don't use too much of solar energy, or directly use solar energy to convert into hydrogen, convert water into hydrogen. Some people are doing research. Instead of solar cells, take solar energy, convert into electricity, use that electricity to convert water into hydrogen, electrolysis. Will it be worth it? Or directly can I tap solar energy to generate hydrogen? See, these are the research topics which people are very actively looking at it. And the way some solutions emerge, and there is a hope and scope for a lot of Indian scientists, people from physics, from chemistry, electrochemistry, bioscience, biochemistry, even ancient knowledge like Ayurveda. Can we use all our integrated efforts to get hydrogen at low cost? If that is done, we will have a wonderful solution. What Amit says, 2070, India will be leader for green energy. It can happen. So we take 10 years for research, find solutions, maybe another 10 years to find engineering solutions, technology, then start producing, make plants, make pipelines, etc. So then only we will be leading, because we are one of the heavy in the energy guzzlers other than no America, China, India. Probably India will be competing with these two, and maybe we consume more energy than others also. So we need to have source of low cost hydrogen based energy solution. Energy for generating electricity, that is required. Energy for more transportation, that is required. All the people have made motors which can directly, or engines which can directly use hydrogen to run a vehicle. That is, you don't need an internal combustion engine using diesel or petrol. Can I directly use hydrogen? It will be more efficient, more energetic, and if you produce hydrogen at $1 per kg, it will be cheap. So this is the next engineering, technology, and business model. Amit knows business better than me. So how do we get a business model where you can produce this hydrogen at a lower cost using all our knowledge base? So this is one way we will overcome the cost of energy being low, whether it is for transportation or for energy generation or even any other heating requirements in the world. This is one. Second is energy for industry activities, energy for chemical activities. All will use hydrogen as the main input. This is one way method. Second is, of course, we will see how to produce hydrogen with innovative methods and using water which is available in plenty. Water, fortunately, will be there all over the world, and we should be able to use the water, therefore energy. Now, people also do a closed cycle modeling, closed cycle. That is, use water, use green energy, and split it, get hydrogen and oxygen, and use hydrogen for generating energy, whatever energy you want. Then go back again, whatever hydrogen you consume for energy generation and transportation, go back, combine into again oxygen, generate electricity, and feed it back for electrolyzer. So it becomes a closed loop. That is, you are going back to, you start with solar energy and make hydrogen, go back, combine hydrogen with oxygen, get back energy. So this one, people are looking at it. Can we do it in a practical way? So I think we are at the right time and the right phase of Indian science and technology revolution, hydrogen revolution. I'm calling it the hydrogen revolution, so that we will be leading the world in making low-cost, affordable, hydrogen-based energy systems in the country. This is what is our prime requirement, and probably we will make a big way to do that. And in case we succeed in making motors of different categories for automobile application, then the lithium battery-based EV, electric vehicle, will be a secondary role, because the battery, battery has its own issues, problem. And if you are able to store hydrogen gas in your car, you don't need a EV, then there's one method of reducing the dependence on lithium, which has a lot of toxicity related issues. Then lithium is, we don't have a lithium source in India, we have to depend. And there are only few countries in the world who are abundant in lithium, one being China, some countries in Eurasia. Like that, maybe Africa. So few countries hold all the lithium. So we have to depend on those countries for lithium. Hydrogen, we don't have to depend. It's available everywhere, free. So water is there, hydrogen is there, you make your own. Then you don't have to depend on lithium-based batteries. This is one possibility that will emerge. Again, I tell you, maybe another 10 years we require, maybe 20 years, to come to a conclusion how do we handle long-term requirements. This is what is our purpose. And I congratulate both Pandeji and Amit for this series of talks. And the whole purpose is to sensitize our younger generation to get into all the science, all the technology, utilize the expertise of our ancient knowledge of science and Veda and then Ayurveda. Can we integrate these things for better purposes? So I think this is the right time, and we induct as many people as possible into this domain, and we find solutions later for a very, as you say, green world. India leading the green world with the lowest carbon footprints and a happy life for everybody. So I wish everybody all the best, and thank both Pandeji and Amit for this series of talks, and wish you all the best.